Welcome to Hiring Manager, How to Hire. This course will introduce you to Dominium's hiring process utilizing DEC as our unified hiring solution. We will walk through the steps from the moment you need to begin recruiting through onboarding. So let's get started. To begin, we will provide a high-level overview of the hiring process, then move on to recruiting. Within recruiting, walk through the opportunity process workflow for on-site managers. After that, look at what a candidate sees when he or she applies. Then learn about how to review applications. To wrap up recruiting, we will discuss what disposition means and how to accomplish it. Finally, we will review what's next for an employee through onboarding. Formerly, you may have worked with a recruiter and completed paper forms to create a job opportunity. Or you may have worked with a hiring manager to complete all new hire paperwork by hand. Now you will use DEC to manage all job opportunities electronically and onboard employees. The DEC hiring process will empower managers to help guide prospective employment applicants toward a potential career with Dominium. Managers will be guided in this process by DEC and a human resource recruiting representative as applicable. The DEC recruiting and onboarding modules expand Dominium's ability to leverage DEC to engage employees even before their career with Dominium begins throughout the recruiting and onboarding phase. Reminder: should you need help at any point during the recruiting or onboarding process, please feel free to call the HR hotline. Before we move on to the recruiting process, a word about opportunities. Organizations have many words for opening a job, from job posting to personnel requisition. The DEC recruiting module refers to the job application process as an opportunity. You will access recruiting by logging into DEC and going to the menu, clicking on Admin to navigate to Recruiting, and then click on Recruiting Gateway. As a reminder, should you need to find any supporting documents, such as interview guides in DEC, go to Menu, My Team, Manager Guide, and click on the appropriate interview guide. From this page, you can view the appropriate training based on whether you manage on-site employees or corporate employees. For on-site managers, you will be guided through creating an opportunity approval, reviewing candidates, and through onboarding. If you are an on-site manager, click that button. If you are a corporate manager, please click on Corporate Manager to see the candidate review process in DEC through onboarding. Let's discuss a high-level overview of the recruiting process. In recruiting, the process begins when you create an opportunity. An opportunity is a requisition or job opening that you are looking to fill. Once the opportunity has been created, it needs to be approved before it can be published to Dominium's internal and/or external job boards. After approval, the opportunity can be posted to the internal job board, external job board, or both. Once the opportunity is posted, candidates apply. You can review application information in real time, including candidate details, documents, answers to application questions, references, and more to determine who you would like to move on to the phone screen and beyond. Throughout candidate review, you will be able to disposition the candidate or note where the candidate is in the process. Once the opportunity is filled, you will then move to onboarding. After you enter the recruiting gateway, you will land on the recruiting dashboard, which provides real-time candidate sourcing data. The green menu bar on the left of the screen, known as the navigation bar, will allow you to proactively review candidates who are interested in Dominium, as well as open opportunities for new candidates. The hiring process begins by creating an opportunity. An opportunity is a requisition or job opening that you are looking to fill. The hiring manager has been empowered to start the opportunity process. To create a new opportunity, under Opportunities, click on Drafts. The screen will refresh with opportunity information. Select the checkbox next to the opportunity you would like to clone. If you don't see the title you need in the list, contact your assigned HR recruiting representative to schedule an intake meeting. It is very important to choose the checkbox next to opportunity, then click Clone. When the screen refreshes, you will see a template of pre-populated information. Please note the tabs across the top denote where you are at in the opportunity process. On the Opportunity Information page, the template has been created to meet Dominium standards. Should you have any questions about the template, please contact your HR recruiting representative. You will need to review each section of the template to ensure accuracy and update required fields and items in the text boxes. Please note required fields are designated with a red asterisk. In the short description, you will need to replace property name, unit number, and city and state. In addition, you will need to review the entire Dominium Standard detailed description under Qualifications. Please read the bolded items and unbold what you want to keep and delete items that do not apply. The next few sections are a benefit or enhancement to the process, such as work experience, education, licenses and certification, behavior, skills, and motivations. To give additional visibility to candidates, we encourage use of skills. As you move down the page, notice that you can mark additional information such as education, skills, motivators, etc. as required for the applicant to respond to as it may be applicable to the position. First review pre-populated skills and then review if any additional skills are needed for a particular property. To add additional information, choose from the drop-down. The example shows licenses and certifications, and then click the blue plus on the left to populate. The hiring manager will need to enter which job boards the opportunity should be posted to in the Notes Comments section. The HR recruiting representative will use the information to post to requested job boards. As we move on to the opening information, on this tab you will enter additional details for the opportunity. Moving down the page, you will complete the following fields as follows. Budgeted. This field will auto-populate with full-time, which equals 1, or if you need to change to part-time, enter 0.5. The second item is maximum headcount, which should be left blank. Continuing on to number 3, priority, do not select any item in this field. Next, number 4, target start date. Be sure this is the correct start date. Click on the box and a calendar will appear to select the date. Then on to number 5, to select if the opening has been budgeted. If the opening is not budgeted, stop and contact your HR recruiting representative or manager. Continuing down the page, number 6, add the reason for opening for approval purposes. Next, number 7, always enter the correct name and date. Finally, step number 8, comments in this section are optional. Then click Continue. Moving on to the next tab, the screening portion will allow you to make a better decision by adding questions that may be applicable to the position. This tab is pre-populated with basic and required questions. Dominium does require selection questions about citizenship, prior employment history, and references each time to determine a candidate's eligibility to work. There are also additional relevant position questions which you can choose to keep or remove using the trash can button on the right. Continue to scroll down and add questions from the library as applicable. Feel free to check with a HR recruiting representative for guidance on which questions to ask if you are unsure. If you don't see a question you'd like to ask, please contact your HR recruiting representative for assistance. Please do not create your own questions. Within each question, you can add point values and determine if an answer could disqualify the applicant. For example, next to each question, you can click the drop-down arrow to expand the question. When the question expands, you can add points and select the box next to disqualify if the answer to the question will disqualify the applicant. Whether or not you check disqualify is up to your discretion. Once you have confirmed the questions, scroll down to the bottom of the page and click Continue. Moving on to the next tab, Company information is the information about where the job is physically located. To begin completion of this tab, the company will auto-populate to Dominium Management Services, LLC. Step 1. Enter the property name or area. Companies and work locations are preloaded into DEC. If your work location is not listed, please contact your HR recruiting representative. Step 2. Remove Plymouth, Minnesota, United States corporate office. Step 3. Select division, which is the property number and name. If you manage multiple properties or phases, please choose the primary property or phase. Step 4. Under Department, remove SPM or Site Property Management and leave blank. Step 5. Leave Cost Center blank. Please note that site employees should not have a cost center. When you have completed all of these steps, click Continue. Continuing in the process, the Compensation tab is optional and not required for posting. Should you choose to complete this tab, you will select full or part-time, salary or hourly, and enter the starting salary for the job. The amount will be the same or less than the incumbent. If you're unsure about what to enter, please contact your manager. You are able to show compensation on internal or external job boards as applicable. Once complete, please click Continue. As you move towards finalizing the job opportunity, please note at any point you can scroll to the top and click on Preview. What appears is what the opportunity will look like on Dominium's website. You will want to be sure to take this action step before completing the steps in the Recruiting Process tab and clicking on Submit for approval. To complete the recruiting process, first you will select a recruiter. If you do not know who your recruiter is, please go to the PDB, search for your property, and click on the Management tab for this information. Second, the hiring manager will automatically populate based on your login. Third, leave the onboarding owner blank. Fourth, confirm the recruiting process is listed as Recruiting Process Site. Scrolling down the page, be sure to review the process so that you are familiar with and complete the required steps as follows: applied, resume review, phone screen, in-person interview, assessments as applicable, reference checks, verbal offer extended, call, email HR. After the verbal offer is extended, the process stops for hiring managers and HR starts the process for the candidate who you wish to proceed in the process. Once HR is notified, the hiring manager should not proceed beyond this point for the candidate who is being considered for the position. Steps with HR use only in front of them should not be used or clicked on by the manager in the disposition. Again, keep in mind, you should be communicating with applicants throughout the process as applicable. All other candidates not being considered can be declined by the hiring manager. This will be discussed later in this training.